So folks, boys hit the dock last week. I hit the dock this morning. Caught a ton of snappers, some blowfish, but they were really tiny. I managed to catch a couple of decent ones. So stay tuned. We're going to teach you how to fillet them, cook them. I'm telling you, they're delicious and they're perfect for your table. So you're down at the Jersey Shore, you want to have some fun with the family. Nothing better than hitting the docks. You can go crabbing, get a light rod, go blow fishing, snapper fishing. God knows what you can catch on the dock, right? So here I am. Had a big day catching a lot of numbers, but they were all tiny. Managed to catch a couple of big ones, decent ones to eat on a spearing rig. Couldn't be simpler. Actually, today they were hitting on the retrieve, so I didn't put a bobber on it, and the bigger ones seemed to be hitting on the retrieve, and we nailed it. So before we get started cleaning, I just want to talk a little bit about our bait station that I gilted the captain in a couple of years ago. It really is functional. It's beautiful. It's right on the water. We ran a permanent hose to it that comes up through, and these perforated tubes just keep the guts and slime moving forward. So it really is a beautiful, beautiful piece. You can swing this back and forth. You can remove the board to scrub it. Really is a great piece of equipment to have at the dock. So the first thing we want to do, and this is about an 8-incher, which is, to be honest with you, my favorite size of snappers to eat. I love these for breakfast with eggs, believe it or not. So we just want to go against the grain here, as it were, and all the way to the top and get all of the scales off, and you'll see where the bait station just comes in handy and washes it down. Then we get to the other side. For those of you that have never eaten snapper, you're really missing something. They are quite delicious. Not fishy at all. Best to eat them the same day as you catch them, to be honest with you, but really a treat. So we'll just rinse that off, we'll double check, and you'll be easily able to tell if you got all the scales off. The next thing you want to do, as I find it easier to take a pair of good, strong kitchen shears and take the bottom off, and then take a small fillet knife, excuse me, and run that up all the way to the top. And then there's a V here. I'm going to try to do it what Danny calls the Canadian way. It may or may not work. So then you stick your thumb in there, you see that? You grab the head and you pull the guts and gills right out. Real simple. Now we'll use our bait station to get the blood vein out. The last thing you want to do is remove the fin, so there's no meat here. I just take the shears and cut that off on both sides. I already did the other side. And then get the dorsal. You don't lose any meat. And that is perfect for your table, which we're going to show you in just a little bit. All right, folks, well, welcome to the permanent new galley from the tide to your table. Bought a new shore house, so this or outside will be the new location for all of our cooking segments. So you saw me do some fishing for some snappers this morning. It's an awful fun thing to do with family and kids. And when I was a kid, and when my children were younger, the first and second mate, they always wanted to eat what they caught, right? Well, it's a perfect little thing, all right? These are baby bluefish, beautiful little snapper bluefish. This one's about 8 inches long. Now you saw me this morning, I probably caught 75. But they were the smallest I've seen in a long while. I like to keep them bare minimum 8 inches. Well, this is an 8-incher, so we're ready to rock and roll. And it's a simple recipe. They are absolutely delicious and perfect for your table. So the first thing we want to do is take the snapper, showed you already how to clean it, and we're going back to my go-to Wondra, which is made by Gold Medal for thickening sauces, which I would never do. However, saute fish, absolutely, nice and crisp. So we're just going to dust the snapper. I leave the head on with a little bit of the Wondra inside too. Coat it nice and evenly and it'll be nice and crisp. All right, so we're going to take about 1/4 inch of oil in the pan, put it on medium-high flame, let it get good and hot. This is a real quick one for you. All right, so oil's been on there a minute or so getting hot. The way I check it is I just wet my hand a little at the sink and I dribble a little in there and you can see it start to spit a little bit. That's the way you know it's ready to go. Then we very carefully, and as I always tell you, lay anything in oil away from yourself, and you'll see that start to crisp up. So we gave it a minute. We're just gonna flip it. We can always turn it back around. You see how that water crisps that up really nice. You don't want to overcook it because I've said many times I hate overcooked fish. So now you can see it's nice brown and caramelized. It looks gorgeous. We're just going to pull it out and immediately put it onto some paper towel to pad dry. Let it cool slightly. So I'm a professional chef. I'm used to better exhaust hoods than this. As you can see, I'm still learning my new kitchen. A little too much smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. All right, now it's real simple. You just want to take your fish, put it on a plate. Obviously, we probably do more than that, but I only caught one decent one, so enough to show you what we're going to do. Now we're going to take our hot pan. We're going to throw a little bit of Kerrygold butter. We've talked about butter a number of times. Kerrygold, Bluebird, they're my two mainstays. We're going to let that get bubbly. Then we're going to add to that some capote capers. Capote capers are the bigger ones, okay? So let those pop a little bit. We're going to add some fresh concasse of tomato, which we covered in an earlier episode. So we're going to add a little bit of lemon juice to make that caramelize. And back to the plate we go. So if you take a quick look at that, you see it's bubbling nice. Now, what you didn't see me do was add salt, and I didn't want to add salt. I'll tell you why. The capote capers are salty, tomatoes are naturally high in salt, and I used salted butter. You shouldn't need much more salt. If you do, you can always add it. Now we're just going to take a little bit of this beautiful mixture and go on top of our fish. Get those capers. So I probably made enough sauce for 2 or 3, but that's okay. So we're going to give it a try as always. The skipper's not here today, so I'm going to go solo. And as you know, we always pair our fish selections with a nice libation. Today, I'm going with a nice cold Weiser. This is an inelegant meal, right? It's just something fun to do on the patio with family, and nothing pairs better than a cold one on a hot day. All right, so let's take a look at how we eat this baby. It's really easy. It pulls right off the bone, much if you were eating a trout. You see how that just pulls right off the bone like that? It's crispy. You get a little bit of the stuff with it, and try it. Folks, I can't tell you how tasty this is. Absolutely delicious. It's the perfect family thing to do. They get to catch it, have a little bit of excitement, cook it up, enjoy a cold beer on a hot day with your family in the backyard. So, this has been Chef Mike with From the Tide to Your Table in our brand new galley, which will be getting a new exhaust hood soon. Stay tuned. Be safe out there. We'll see you in the water soon.